whenever an Amazon sellers want to do a TikTok shop, they find it difficult. They don't know, what will be the key to open the TikTok shop. Because the mindset of doing Amazon is quite different from the mindset of doing TikTok shop.
Welcome back to another episode of the Built to Scale podcast. Now, here's an interesting fact. Most Amazon sellers who try TikTok shop fail within 30 days. Not because they lack budget, because they're still thinking like Amazon sellers. Today, I'm sitting down with Can Chan, an 8-figure e-commerce operator and founder of Top Tier League, a global community for TikTok Shop, Amazon, and AI-driven commerce. Can tells me why TikTok runs on creators, not keywords, and why 70% of shop sales come from affiliate creators. If you're selling on Amazon, thinking about TikTok Shop, or trying to figure out where AI fits in your business, this conversation will save you months of trial and error. Now, before we get into it, if you're finding value in these episodes, do me a favor. Please like, subscribe, and drop a comment. It genuinely helps the show grow. So, if you're sitting, relax. If you're at the gym, pick up the pace, because this episode is a real-time look at how fast you have to move when the platform under you starts to shift. I'm your host, Shmuel Hirschberg, and this is the Built to Scale podcast. Listen up, and let's start scaling now. I'm here with Can Chan. He's an 8-figure e-commerce entrepreneur based in China. He's the founder of Top Tier League, a global community for TikTok Shop, Amazon, and AI-driven commerce operators. And today we're going to dive into TikTok Shop, Amazon, and how to scale your business. So Can, it's an honor to have you on the Built to Scale podcast.
Yeah, I'm so glad to be here. And thanks so much, Shmuel, to have me here. And I have an opportunity to share some experience or tactics for everyone who will be interested in e-commerce, especially like TikTok, Amazon, AI, etc.
Amazing. Yeah. And we met because we recently spoke at the Affiliate World Conference in Budapest, and it was a great event. But I do have to say, I think you're first of all, the first person that's coming on the Built to Scale podcast that's going to talk about TikTok. So maybe you could just give us a little bit of background about yourself.
Yeah, great. No, I actually have been a long time Amazon seller. I started sell on Amazon first, so more than 10 years. It's a great time. Yeah, at that time, very few sellers are actually in that space. So if you have a good product and you have some basic skill, to get traffic and rank the keyword, actually get very good performance. Since 2023, actually it becomes much a sector on Amazon have a little bit focused strips. We explore TikTok. TikTok, like in terms of its users numbers, in terms of the whole interaction trend, it's great. And TikTok launched its e-commerce platform in the US. First is TikTok Shop. So we are actually among the first batch of sellers on TikTok Shop, and we did very well. And then we learned, the first place, how to scale on TikTok Shop, and then to get traffic, build a brand, build an audience very well.
And how long have you been in the TikTok Shop world for?
Yeah, actually it's more than 2.5 years, maybe almost 3 years. In the US sites, it just started since 2023. So we are among the first batch of sellers on TikTok Shop.
Well, I remember, when was it, a year ago, 2 years ago, where TikTok went down for a few days in the US, right?
Yeah, I think it's because the US government, right? It was almost banned. Because the US government, want TikTok to be isolated from the Chinese, because its parent company is ByteDance. They have some concern of the security things. But now the TikTok US entity, actually it is a separate entity, and the majority shareholders now become some very big US company like Oracle, Silver Lake, etc. So it's a separate operation for the whole US market.
Okay. Let's go back to the world of Amazon. So you've been in that for almost a decade.
Yeah.
And
more than that.
I think more than a decade. And everyone's bought something on Amazon, or at least I would like to think that everyone's bought something on Amazon. So what type of stuff are you selling?
Yeah, we are mostly selling more than one category actually. Home furniture, car accessories, and also personal care products. Back to like 10 years ago, whenever you have a good product, whatever category it is, you know how to drive traffic, you actually get things, growing. So it's a good time, a few years ago. Maybe not now.
So you're pretty much driving this traffic on Amazon for these products, and you don't really, you're running them as an affiliate, or you're running them as a third party reseller.
Yeah, we run it as a private label brand. So we build our own brand.
Okay.
Yeah. We also we have some affiliate because we actually try. Amazon has its own affiliate program. If you registered affiliate, like a few years ago, you can earn more about 8% of the total sales if you are affiliate for Amazon. But now the percentage is much lower, so it's not as attractive as before. Before we run through, like we run brands, and also we run as an affiliate account to try to drive traffic.
Yes. So you were selling, you said auto parts, household items, pretty much anything that the average Joe needs to buy, and you are fine. So can you just take me, if you can, like just on what that process is? Because now all of a sudden I realize you're not running as an affiliate. You're not just buying, you're not just selling it as a third party reseller. It's your store. You're actually going to Amazon. You're opening up a store on Amazon for your household items and stuff like that. So you have to actually source the items, and then you actually have to sell the items, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you find that any particular niche worked better or was more profitable than others?
Before, you can actually rely on some software to get a lot of research, and then you find the niche that the basic theory is, if you notice the trend of some certain keywords, and then you find the product, the number of products, and also the competitive, the quality of the current products are not that competitive, that is your opportunity. So this is what we have been doing for a long time. But now it becomes more difficult because you can imagine, because Amazon has been developed for a long time. So almost in all categories, it becomes much more competitive than before. And even you find really good ideas, your competitors who has a better supply chain in his category, or he has studied this for a long time, he can easily come up with you because he has some early advantage than you. He has much more traffic, he has his own brand store, he has some solid base of his consumers. So it's not that easy. But still, if you are a good product manager and you have some sense for some certain category, still for Amazon and TikTok, I think both of them are still good platform. It just takes you more efforts than before. Not like 5 years ago, even 5 years ago. You need to invest more of your resources, your money, your energies, etc.
So you're always looking at products based on where the market's going. It reminds me of like Wayne Gretzky, the great hockey player, the greatest of all time. At least in my book, he would always say he's going where the puck is going. He doesn't go to where the puck is. He's going where the puck is going. And that kind of vision was able to make him the great one. And I guess that's kind of like similar to like Amazon shops and potentially TikTok shop as well. We'll get to that in a second. But perhaps like, just seeing where the market's going, being able to look at the data, seeing who's searching, what the competition looks like, and then acting upon that. So is that seemed like a recipe for success 5 years ago, but nowadays is that possible, or do people need to just kind of double down on their niche and say I want to sell this type of kitchen item on Amazon and I'm going to go with it? What can you tell us about that?
I think Amazon and TikTok, they are different platforms, so I may talk about it one by one.
Okay.
For Amazon, as I say, first of all, you need a good product, right? And then the difference than before is you need to fully understand the competitive status in your category, because Amazon is more about keywords. When people want to buy your products, they have something in their mind. That's the keyword, right? They want to search something exactly in their mind. So you need to have a very detailed study of all the keywords that can be related to your items, and then to analyze the cost, because each keyword is actually, just like we run Google Ads, Meta Ads, they have a certain price. They have a certain ad cost to keep your ranking, for example, on the first page or on the second page. So you make very detailed research before you even prepare the inventory. Because for Amazon now, there is a model called FBA. Means that Amazon help you to fulfill the products, but you need to prepare all this inventory inside FBA warehouse. That means you need to do the initial investment even before you do any marketing. Yeah, you need to do. So before everything, you should make very detailed study of like what I say, how this traffic comes on, what the cost, what would be the basic investment, what would be like your competitor want to invest more than you, want to like hijack your listing, etc. So this is what Amazon is. Majority traffic still comes inside the Amazon, but yeah, but you need to do a lot of study, and it's more based on keywords, based on inbound X.
Yeah, and what type of investment are we talking about in terms of getting on Amazon to be relevant? Are we talking about like, tens of dollars, hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars?
From my understanding, especially I know a lot of sellers like US based, also in China based or other parts. Now I think it's safe that you at least have K US dollar as your initial investment
per month.
You can pay for your inventory first, and then additional advertising is based on what I say, based on your study of your research of your category. It varies a lot. For example, if you are in a category like fashion, like electronic items, the advertising cost can be huge because, like just headphone, right? Everyone want to compete for the keyword of headphone or wireless headphone. So the keyword cost can be very, very expensive, but the sales volume can be huge. That's what I mean. The advertising cost vary a lot based on different products.
Yeah. And I want to go back to that $50,000 investment. So you're saying $50,000 to put on the side, and that's going to be your initial investment in buying product and getting you on Amazon and starting to roll out some ads. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, basically, it's more on the cost of your initial inventory, your product cost, your certification, your trademark. Yeah. This is a basic preparation.
Yeah. What I want to get at is, the real scale numbers. Like, what does that breakdown look like? Are we talking about you probably need to get, to make a good run at this? If you have a $50,000 investment and that's your budget, are we talking about you can buy $25,000 worth of product and then have $25,000 to play with in advertising? Or are you talking about like, $10,000 worth of product and you need $40,000 to push that out to make profit? And obviously your ROAS is going to be a lot different, based on those scenarios. So maybe you could talk a little bit, open the dashboard a little bit of what you're seeing.
Yeah, I would say, for example, if you are in a very competitive category, I would say for your initial investment, you may prepare almost the same money in your investment of X and the same investment of your category or your inventory. Because at the beginning, your product, you have no review. Your product, you don't have any review in your listing, right? And you don't have any initial brand awareness of your product. So actually you need to invest a lot in the beginning of X.
For sure.
Drive traffic to increase your brand awareness, and then to encourage people to try a product and lead review. Amazon has its own review program called Y. That for new products to be applying for consumers, then they can leave their reviews on it. So you get your initial reviews. So all this like their investment. So I would say if the ad cost at the beginning is almost the same as your product cost, etc. And then when you get more reviews, when you get more brand awareness, this part can be become little and little. And like in our financial report, now you can say ad cost is about 10% of the total revenue. For example, you sell $100,000 in revenue. Your ad cost is usually about $10,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I'm getting the numbers right, you basically need to 4x your ad cost, right, to 2x your investment. Because if you're investing $50,000 and you're investing $25,000 into product, $25,000 into ad, you're down $50,000. If you want to turn a 2x on that, you got to take that $25,000 investment in ads and turn a 4x on that.
Yeah, almost like that. And if you want to develop more products, that's another scenario. Yeah, because People don't, when they sell one product, get it successfully, they are tending to launch more products.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And the $100,000 question here, of course, is that doable?
It's still doable, but it requires more research than before. Because now in Amazon, there are a lot more fees than you can imagine. There is a long-term storage fee. If your product stay in FBA warehouse for a longer time, they charge you. And if your product stay in the warehouse for too long time, you may need to do the liquidation. So that's why I say, you need to do a lot more research because Amazon just want you to sell fast. If you're not,
you want to be selling like hotcakes.
Yeah.
Awesome. So then going over into TikTok, because you said that they were different, but you also said before we got on the call and we were chatting a little bit, you said that most people think TikTok shop is hard, right? But you disagree. Why is that? Why do you think it's? I mean, is it easy? Is it somewhere in between? But
yeah. A lot of sellers, especially when they're already into the Amazon space, they want to expand the business to TikTok shop. Just want to expand one more channel because it looks like the channels are more diversified and it's safer and also extend their product reach. But whenever an Amazon sellers want to do a TikTok shop, they find it difficult. They don't know, what will be the key to open the TikTok shop because the mindset of doing Amazon is quite different from the mindset of doing TikTok shop.
Okay. Can you unpack that?
As I just said, it's quite keyword focused, right? All the buyers, they buy things based on what they have in their mind. So all these things becomes a keyword. So it's a keyword driven e-commerce model. But TikTok, I'm not sure you scroll. You watch TikTok. Do you do that every day or from time to time? Do you watch TikTok? You send a TikTok ad?
I personally don't. I'm more of an Instagram type of person.
Okay, it's quite similar. TikTok is like a discovery channel. You scroll the content and find something interesting and you click it and probably you buy it. So it's not you have already something in your mind ready to search keyword. It's more discovery channel for brands.
And in terms of buying, TikTok shop makes it super easy because your payment details are all in there. So it's pretty much like a one click or one tap purchase.
Yes. Everything inside the app. You don't have to turn on the app and it makes the shopping actually more efficient. You see something interesting and then you click, you finish the purchase. And after 3 days, you get the product. So it's just like as natural as Amazon. So in terms of the difference, if you run a TikTok shop, you don't quite rely on keywords. You don't quite rely on X, although it can still play an important part. But the most important factor is actually we call creators. In Instagram, we call influencers. In TikTok, they call them creators because TikTok actually build a very sophisticated systems for all these creators to help sellers to sell things. When the creators post a video that based on their experience, based on a product demo, based on something they like, they can actually add a shopping cart icon on the video. So when a consumer purchase something by clicking the shopping cart, the seller get the sales. And then the creator actually get a commission. So that's why it drives creators to post a lot of video to help sellers sell the products.
Okay, so the creators are like the affiliates, basically.
Yes. So they call affiliate creators in TikTok shop. And because that way, sellers, if you want to succeed in TikTok shop, you need to do a lot of outreach. Some sellers I know, they do 100 outreach per day to connect with all these creators and send samples to them to ask them to do the video creation for them. Many creators are actually willing to do that because when they do this video, they have content to post. They get their awareness, they get their followers. And most importantly, they actually get sales and make very good commission. Some creators, they can easily earn 6 figures per month based on the product they sell.
And if they're making that money, I would imagine the actual store owners are making money on top of that.
Definitely. Now, they will set commissions based on their a profit structure or based on the promotion period. For example, if they like supplement, that's a product with high margin, right? They can provide creators with about 20% to 30% of commission. I can see some of them even provide 40%. And for example, if your product now is under a promotion period, some sellers will also offer some extra in commission rate or extra bonus to creators who promote the product well. So that's what I mean. You set different commission rate for different products and for different stage of the products. So this is how TikTok Shop creators can do it. And in terms of the total revenue that generated by creators across the whole TikTok Shop sellers, you can see that at least 70% currently, 70% of the total revenues of all TikTok sales actually related to creators.
Okay, cool. And what would you say is easier, to go from Amazon to TikTok or TikTok to Amazon?
That depends on the brand. But we can see now more and more Amazon sellers, they try to extend their brands to TikTok. Because TikTok is not just a platform for sales. When you have a lot of creators that working with you, you can get your brand awareness every day. All these are organic traffic. And then many consumers, actually, they don't directly purchase on TikTok Shop. Not all the consumers, they have the habits to do the purchase on TikTok. But they will search a keyword on Google or on Amazon and then finalize the purchase will be finished on your DTC brand site or on Amazon. So it's a good way to get organic traffic. Yeah, to get the product easier.
So what's the let's take the Amazon owner who's looking to expand. He wants to get into another field, another mountaintop, as I like to always talk about how we have different acquisition mountains, right? And they want to go over to TikTok, right? The path up that hill, it's not based on keywords and stuff like that. It's a different skill set. It's a different mindset.
Yeah,
so what is your expert tip for someone's first 30 days when they're moving from Amazon to TikTok Shop?
Yes, as I say, 70% of the total sales are related to creators. So first of all, they should study how they can get well, they can succeed than their competitors to get more conversion from their creators. Actually, there are now in the market, there are already a lot of tools that you can use to do massive outreach in the short times are not a problem. You can easily to get contact with all these creators. The one, suggestion I may give to new sellers who want to extend is even if you master all these tools, you need to have something in your mind that how to convince all these creators to work better with you. When they work with wholehearted, they work with passion, they want to do your product in a more creative way, you can actually get more sales. So you need, this is something different. In Amazon, you only study keywords. That's everything. But in TikTok, you need to understand the mindset of your partners, that the creators, right? Actually, that they are your partners. You need to understand the mindset of them and try to convince them to help you more.
Interesting. Very interesting. So it's very much becomes a relationship game.
Yeah, kind of that. So some very big sellers, actually, they will organize parties for their high-performing creators. One big sellers in supplement called Goli, they organize a very big party. They invite all their top-performing brands to host like an Oscar-style party, to send out a lot of prizes, to this high-performing
for their top creators.
Yeah. They even have some contests. Like if you are the top creators and pass some certain criteria, you can earn like Lamborghini, like the top prize is 1 million in cash. Yes, this is how they drive the creators to work.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And I want to shift a little bit over to AI. I know you guys are doing some great work in Top Tier League with AI. Maybe you can just tell us a little bit how AI's changed your day-to-day, probably like even within the last 6 months. I imagine you've taken a lot of big strides. So how has AI shaped your marketing plan?
A lot. I can tell. Every day we are using this, but I want to make it sharp. It's like maybe 2 or 3 parts. One is we use AI to streamline all our management, mostly in Amazon and also in TDC. Now, before everything, for example, as I shared before, in Amazon, you need people to look very closely to all the ad management because it costs a lot. It's a big spending part of your whole business. Now we use AI to actually replacing like almost 95% of all this human work. It can help to make the bids much lower. To catch a very good position of certain keywords, especially in ranking in page 1. And also we use AI to identify the traffic opportunity. Yeah. And then to get all this good traffics, yeah, in a lower price as well. So this is what we already use very strongly in Amazon. We even build our own system. Yeah. If any like 8-figure sellers like this system, I can also share it. And also we use it for DTC as well to run Meta, Google, to manage all these ads in one platforms and mainly driven by mainly driven by AI, because we use AI to learn the behavior based on the Shopify data. Because all Shopify data actually they can have the attribution and all these things can be studied with AI. So this is how we use AI to manage ads. Also, because like some very good model by GPT image tool and like Gemini, we use AI to generate content now, yeah, in a daily basis, including like video and images. The quality is so good. Yeah,
you built an AI image generator, right?
long before, yes, we have one, but now we fully rely on GPT. It took place on our own service.
So what was the story behind that?
Like 3 years ago, it's just like ChatGPT. Even ChatGPT was not that strong at that time. We actually built our own AI image service. But all these AI models of these giants are becoming so good. We have to stop our own business. Yeah, this power business. We actually were taken place by all these giants. This is how all this major AI business is doing to other like smaller softwares. Yeah, it's painful, but yeah, we learned the lesson.
Yeah, well, I wanted to ask you, how difficult was that to pull the plug on your own business?
Yeah, it's hard, but when you see they are your competitors is so strong and your service is not just as competitive, yeah, to compare with them, you have to do that. And we just reassign the team to other things. As I say, we reassign them to work closely more on Amazon X because it's closer and it more relies on our experience in this vertical parts. Like ChatGPT, they are not running Amazon X every day. So still, expertise are not strong enough in this vertical parts. But now we can show this. So this we can still invest on this part. Like image generation, it's just something that everyone doing. It's just a more common area. In this more common area, you just can't compare with all these big models.
So how long did it take you to actually make that decision? From the point when you realize, hey, there's a problem here. ChatGPT, Gemini, they're just blowing us out of the water, until you kind of said like, yeah, that's it. Like we're stopping. We're pulling the plug on this. How long did that take?
I think it's about 1 or 2 months when we see everyone began to talk about that their service is so good. Yeah, and then we are seeing we can compete because in terms of user, in terms of price, everything. So it's hard, but we make it quick. It's the way that we can make the loss, to be controllable. If not, the loss will keep growing.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So it took you 1 to 2 months to actually pull the plug on this, to really kind of like swallow that pill and say, all right, we can't compete. How long did it take you to basically recoup your losses, to kind of, basically get ahead of where you were going to be because you pulled that plug, right? So if you, for 1 to 2 months, you should have pulled the plug, right? So you were a little bit behind the 8 ball for a month or two. But then like, if, in terms of your graph, how long did it take you to really start scaling up again?
Yeah. Because we are a team that all these members, we have been working for a long time together. So when we can, everyone sit down and then we talk about some latest stuff that we are facing, and then we realized that we can go on this way. We couldn't make it. We couldn't make it. So actually, when we think we need to stop there, actually we also had the idea that we need to do something else, and we definitely think we can do something else because we have been working for a long time. And we already make some success in the e-commerce field. And of course, we still have, for this project, we actually reserve a fund from our original earnings. So this fund can pay us for the company, for this new company, and for the regular operation. So when we stop, we actually still use this fund to change the direction a little bit. For more our ads program. We didn't have like some angel investment, but all this part of fund comes from our e-commerce how to say that the kind of e-commerce success because we have been in this area for a long time and we get all the profit. We didn't spend all the profit. So we keep the profit and then use it to fund our upcoming project.
This fund was basically carved out when you closed down your AI business. Is that right?
Close the AI image business. And then we shifted to the X. Yeah. We still we're still on AI, but we just don't make image anymore. We shifted.
So what's the AI business now?
Amazon X platform. Yeah, it's for AI and what we are using, and also some 8-figure sellers are already using it.
So basically buying things on Amazon via X.
Yes, you can imagine like before, every Amazon sellers, you need like, for example, if an 8-figure seller, especially if the X scale can be they spend a lot of money every year. So first, they need at least 5 to 6 person to run this X. Second, for example, for a $10 million US Amazon business, they usually spend like $1 million in Amazon X every year. So our system actually helped them to cut costs in 2 parts. One, to streamline all the Amazon X process and to identify the traffic opportunity and also cut bids for keywords. So their 1 million ad spending can actually save money. To say 10%, it becomes like 900K per year. So this is one part of saving. And second part, you don't have to rely on such a big ad team. So before you need 5 to 6 team members, now you only need 2 to 3. So we save cost in these 2 ways to help them.
So you're running all your Amazon ads through your proprietary
in
AI
this
platform.
Yeah.
And when did you launch this? How long has this been running for now?
Yeah, we have been launching since almost 2 years. Yeah.
2 years. Wow. So what would you tell a founder who's considering, building something proprietary for AI right now? I mean, there's so many different directions that you can go in. So there's so many different use cases for it. But I'm sure there's some, hard and fast rules for someone who has that experience like yourself, who's entered the game and built stuff and has some failures, but also some successes. What can you tell us?
Yeah, I mean, now with AI, it's easier to build than ever before. When you have a cloud code, you have a code desk, you can build everything. Yeah, I mean, very easy. So you can see there are so many apps now every day or released by different parties because the process for building things becomes much easier. The other thing is, your service can be easier be copied than ever before, not just by your competitors, also by the platform. Like if Cloud Code knows something that you run very well and in a certain vertical area, they can just make it as a skill, right? They can just make it as a skill, and then your service can just become part of the service inside Cloud Code. So something good, something bad. As far as per my practice right now, I think you need to do something still with strong human expertise. Yeah, something that's still getting update every day, or it requires a lot of human judgment. Because if you just run something purely on AI, as I say, it just easily become part of the skills inside Cloud Code or code. You can make it as a profitable service. So this is one thing I want to mention. The other part is, if any of you are interested in physics plus AI, this is another big field, as I can imagine. Because like robot, in one of my events, I actually invite a humanoid robotic, to dance with us. Yeah, you can consider right now all these robots, they're just at the beginning of a new era. So if anyone, you have something that can connect with physical items with AI, I do think that can be a very huge area that you can explore and just in the very near future, I think all these things can have such huge potential.
And in terms of, let's say, going back to TikTok versus Amazon, what would you say is easier in terms of getting started today?
That still depends on your skill set. Yeah. If you are very familiar with content, TikTok Shop is still something good because you can use pure content to get organic traffic. And Amazon, everything is paid traffic. It's based on keyword. So if you are good at content, you have a good sense of social media, you can start with TikTok. But for example, you don't want to make something very complicated. You are a number guy. You're good at running ads. You're good at study keywords. Amazon is a good one. But both of them, they require good products. If you are making some product that are crap products. Even if you sell something, they will get returned. Yeah, you'll get very bad review. So you can make it sustainable. So yeah, that's why I say whatever you want to choose, it depends on the skill set or your teammates' skill set. Yeah, you put them together.
And where do you see the market going in the next, let's say, 12 to 24 months with TikTok and Amazon ads?
In Amazon, I can see it's still the trend, even the platform, I mean, they're still trying to earn more money from sellers. It sounds strange, but it's like that way. Because Amazon's growth, for its own traffic growth, now it become a little bit flat. But as a public company, Amazon need to grow their profit and they need to release a very beautiful financial report every quarter to its investors. So they need to earn money. If you study the financial report of Amazon, you will find that the ad income of Amazon growth almost 20% in every quarter. It's crazy. So how this ad income comes from? They come from sellers. So you can imagine in Amazon, even in the future 24 months, you need to find a much smarter way to make your ad cost lower. If not, you can't make money because Amazon is trying to take more income from you than before. So this is Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
TikTok, I don't say it's easier, but if you know how to, as I say, build strong relationship with a long list of creators, and you know how content can get traffic, it's a very good platform to build your brand awareness and sales at the same time.
Okay. Yes. So Amazon being a publicly traded company, they're always going to have that 20% quarter over quarter growth. And because of that, do you see like their CPMs, the cost for advertising, that will go up and come down a bit? Or is that just only going to, get more expensive?
Yeah. As my discussion with a lot of sellers, the average ad spending as a percentage of the revenue versus the tech cost. The tech cost is much higher in the recent 2 years than before. So I can see this trend, just go this way. That's why I say to run it.
Yeah, because if it gets too expensive, people are not going to be able to afford. It's going to cut into their margins, and in turn, they'll leave the platform, and it will cut into Amazon's margins again. That's why I think perhaps that the cost for advertising can go up and also down, through its cycles. But TikTok is a little bit different, right?
Yeah, it's different. It's more content driven, and is
okay.
More.
Well, I'm talking about just the cost for advertising, not how you go about it, but just in terms of the your CPMs and stuff. Are those prices going up constantly? What are you seeing on the ground there?
Yeah, at least per my understanding of Amazon, even they don't go up, but still it reflects. I don't see the trend, the cost, the CPM, like the ad spending, the tech cost in Amazon will go down. I don't see this trend, at least for now. Yeah, sellers are still compete with each other to get better position. When they want to get better position, they need to run more ads. So this is a trend I'm seeing. TikTok, in terms of, the total CPM is still stable for now, at least for now. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Very nice. Yeah. So where are we like in the grand scheme of things in terms of like advertising on these platforms?
Yeah. The advertising cost is going high, and the whole market, especially on these platforms, Amazon is the major platform of the global e-commerce. It become more competitive than before, and advertising is going higher. So that's why I say it's not a golden age. But if you're still a good product manager and you're still good at learning and know how to leverage AI, like I say, to streamline your advertising process, to streamline your product study process, and to learn customer reviews quicker, you can still build a good business faster than before. I just want to make one example. Before, when you have a product listing, there will be like thousands of customer reviews. When you need to study it, you need to it takes you a long time to read one by one and do summary and do everything. But now with AI, just use one click and they analyze for you in a lot of different angles. So it saves you a lot of energy, time, and cost. So this is what I say. It might not be the golden age, for in terms of competition, in terms of the ad course, but it can also be the golden age if you can leverage the advanced tools like AI to to everything, like to improve efficiency, to help you to save
Mhm.
human costs, etc. Yeah. It's a new game. It's a different game.
Well, yeah, we're all learning it and things have just changed so much, but definitely AI's dramatically lowered the learning curve for a lot of things. Let me ask you a quick question as we just come, to the end of this episode. What's the one piece of conventional advice that you hear all the time and you just roll your eyes and be like, that's garbage. I wouldn't recommend you do that. Focus on this.
Sorry, I didn't have this one right now. But I just want to say, yeah, people will have a lot of suggestion to you. Yeah, you ask a lot of advices and they might give a lot of suggestion based on what they learn. But I want to say, especially now, because AI is actually changing a lot in all angles. So, I mean, before you're taking any suggestions, even from some very experienced or senior people, you can consider to chat with AI and use AI to identify if they are right or wrong. Because a lot of rules, games, experience, they might become ineffective now because of the new games happening. Yeah, mainly driven by
Yep.
AI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, what's your AI tool of choice these days?
A regular like Codex, Cloud and some Chinese like DeepSeek as well. I mainly use this AI and as I say, I review our own AI system for AIX, especially for Amazon, TikTok, and Meta Google.
Awesome. Amazing. Well, this has really been an eye-opening conversation, and I just want to thank you so much for coming on. Let me just ask you, as we close out, where can people find you and learn more about Top Tier League?
Yeah. Thanks so much, Samir, to have me here. And I really, really feel good, to share with so many audience here. Whenever you want to find me, you can just log in LinkedIn. My name's Ken Chan, CAN space CHAN. LinkedIn, Facebook, the same name. Or just type like Top Tier, TOPTIER, League, LEAGUE.com. Yeah, you can find me there and then we have more sharing.
Amazing. We'll be sure to put all of those links in the show notes. So feel free to reach out to Ken. And once again, Ken, thank you so much for coming on the Build to Scale podcast and sharing so much about Amazon and TikTok shops and where the AI world is going in general. It's been a really, really enlightening conversation with you. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's my honor and very good, to see everyone here.
Thanks for listening to the Build to Scale podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss a conversation about what it really takes to build and scale in today's market. For more information about Build to Scale and how we help companies grow, visit buildtoscale.co. If you have suggestions for future guests or topics, send us a note at podcast@buildtoscale.co. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, this is your host, Shmuel Hirschberg. And remember to keep building, keep testing, and keep scaling.